So the first guy I picked was Nietzsche. He is a German philosopher, and he's mainly known for criticizing religion.
Right.
Like the traditional European morality and the religion. And they're conventional philosophical ideas. And he wanted to expose false consciousnesses that infected people's received ideas. Now, this is a lot of confusing words, right? To be exact, right?
Right.
Well, he was infamous for constantly criticizing the traditional European morals and what the foundation of Christianity was based upon, which meant that the religious faith, as well as many other aspects from what you would consider the base of morality.
Right.
So the base of your religious faith, as well as the base of what you consider as moral, they weren't like autonomous to yourself, to your one self. So he basically wanted to tell you that you can't really have a moral code without being influenced by a religious body. Like if you take
I get it. People are born inherently bad.
Kind of.
Or at least immoral.
Yes. So during that time when he came with this idea...
Oh, wait a second. So he wasn't an atheist? He was a theist? He believed in God?
No, he was an atheist.
Right.
A lot of European intellectuals at that time, they all believed that their moral code was individual from any religion. So they thought they weren't influenced by any religion to create their own moral code. But he was like, you're so naive and you don't even understand how much influenced you are. But you say you're not.
What do you mean exactly when you say moral code?
Where does your compassion come from? Where does the feeling of wrongdoing?
Right.
Like how can you tell that the notion you have of compassion is not from what religion told you it is?
Okay. So why? Why did he give that much credit to religion?
I don't know.
Because it sounds a little bit counterproductive. Because you're saying, I don't believe in a God.
He literally said, he launched the idea that God is dead. So he literally said, God is dead.
Yeah, but what does that mean?
When I was researching this, I came upon a bunch of confusing words that were linked to form a more confusing sentence. And then I had to read like a lot of times to understand. So he believed that our standard moral code and commitment lacked the foundation we thought we had. So we thought we had a foundation for our moral code when in actuality it wasn't there.
But what did we think our foundation was?
So the foundation was the Bible. This is when majority of people were very highly religious, right? In the 1800s. This is in the 1800s. So if you had to take that unquestionable authority of the Bible away, if you took that our morals would prove to have no actual ground base and to actually be harmful to us.
Our morals?
It's very confusing, I know. That's why I want to discuss this with you, because I don't really understand.
I'm genuinely confused, because I think it's very counterproductive to... I get it that he thought that people aren't born good. Like, it's not... You develop your moral compass. You're not born good. What it sounds like to me, he thought that people were born bad, immoral. You didn't have the same, you don't have empathy, you don't have idea of what right and wrong means. So I get that, but what I don't get is why would he give that much credit to
religion?
Right, as an atheist.
I think because it's a society aspect. Religion is a very much society, because another point he made was that if you compare two countries, like if you compare two continents, even two countries, there are slight or even big moral differences, right? Like, let's take the subject of eating meat, eating cow. You are okay with eating beef, right? But in another society, that is deemed as morally wrong.
Right.
Do you get it? So if you take those out, if you take the aspect, because eating beef in another country is considered immoral from religious points of view, right?
What country are we talking about?
Is it India that they don't eat beef?
Oh yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah.
Right. So due to religious beliefs. Okay. Keep going.
That was it. That was just his theory that without the religious aspects, our morals would be maybe not even there.
No, that's not. Well, that's not unusual. That's just the downer.
Yeah.
Because I get the point. Because it was used as a form of organizing masses, which you needed at the time.
Yeah, I agree. But he's kind of a nihilist, so he likes to make himself miserable. He just wanted to
Suffer.
I think he was literally known as a nihilist, even though he wanted to counteract that, reputation.
I think I got what he was about. I just didn't understand.
Like, he didn't really
what
want
he
to seek
wanted.
the truth. He didn't really want to seek the truth from what critics believe of him. He was just wanting to, in the end, when he got this reputation of a nihilist, so he wanted to be like, nah.
I will adopt
like,
all the puppies in the world.
No, he was like, oh no, I'm actually just embracing people to deconstruct their morals and reconstruct them in a better way. Kind of like that was what he was after.
Well, I get that. I'm just not sure how was I supposed to get from whatever he was saying to, just start questioning my morals. Like, and it's not, I think when I hear, maybe I'm wrong, but when I hear morals, I think of something that's very universally believed as being wrong. So why would I start to question why my society condemns murder?
Okay, maybe not universally known things, but maybe more specific things. Like if you think women's rights, for example, in certain countries, you might not question that aspect because you have rights, but maybe he was trying to reach someone else.
Does that qualify as moral? Maybe it would have helped to know what exactly he was referring to, because it's very general. Because I went to the extreme, to the universal thing. I don't necessarily think it's helpful to, not helpful, but what would I get out of questioning why it's bad to hurt people? I do think, though I'm not sure if I'm applying it correctly in this situation, but I do think about the discourse of systemic racism, that it's sort of built in the system, and even internalized racism when you don't even realize that you are racist or you have racist behaviors.
Like we've talked about people that we know from a country that's not as exposed to other races.
Right.
That would make a joke and not realize it's racist and just thinking, oh, it's just a joke. I didn't mean it in a harmful way. But then from this other perspective, it did come across as harmful, but they don't know that.
Yeah, and you do need...
So do they need to deconstruct their morals? And that's not okay, what they're doing. But they think they're doing nothing wrong.
Yeah, and you do need sort of what he was preaching, which is introspection.
Yes.
Look inside yourself and find out why certain things are the way they are and change them.
Because I think a lot of people think that they're in the right, even though they do wrong things, like just taking this example of being racist. And it's complicated because you can't make them, it's difficult to make them understand that they're being wrong when in their eyes they are correct. You know, like, I'm not doing anything wrong. It was a harmless joke.
Right.
So how about just everyone do some self-inspection?
That's the moral
Maybe that's what
of this story.
Of the story, yeah.
Everybody needs a little introspection.